Today's story starts here in Belfast, the capital of Northern Ireland, and it starts with the Ryan family, a normal family living in a normal house in the back streets of Belfast. Now the Ryans were a typical 2.4 children family. Dad Michael was a postman, Mum Angela worked in the local library, and their two children, Grace and Noah, got all the love in the world. But it was Noah where things were a little bit different. From an early age, this kid had something special. At 5 years old, he started his own car washing business, washing all his neighbours' cars on the street and regularly earning £30 every weekend. By 12, he progressed away from washing cars and had his own gardening and grass cutting business, which he employed 4 of his schoolmates and earned more a week than his dad did at the post office. By 16, his school and his parents realised he was a very, very intelligent boy, and with his IQ, he was accepted into Mensa and helped write a book on how you could train your brain. By the age of 21, Noah had started his own phone app technology business. Using the money from his book sales and the sale of his gardening business, this kid had a big future. And by the time Noah had reached 25, his tech business was turning over hundreds of millions every year. He also treated himself to a very, very nice mansion on the outskirts of Belfast. He also owned a Miami beach house where he regularly threw kick-ass parties, and he treated himself to a lovely Swiss alpine lodge, a place where he'd go and reflect, do business and relax. But the money was getting to him, and with the money came fame. Noah became a regular on the celebrity circuit and started dating celebrity women all around the world. First, it was Miley Cyrus. For 12 months, he was engaged to Ariana Grande. Their breakup was all over the newspapers. And last but not least, he was a day away from marrying Megan Fox. He jilted her at the altar. But hot celebrity girlfriend or not, this guy was a regular on the red carpet and a regular at the after parties. On the surface of it, people saw him as a celebrity, a fun, young guy who liked to party. He made regular appearances on American chat shows, but behind the scenes, Noah was getting serious with his business, taking it up to another level that would earn him billions of dollars, because he was moving Ryan Corp away from just phone technology. He was moving it into military technology. After a weekend of hanging around with his best friend David Beckham and sealing a multi-billion-dollar contract with the US government, he decided to party. So he got the yacht ready, got a load of friends together, and spent 2 weeks snorting cocaine, drinking alcohol, and having sex with every goddamn woman on the boat. After his fortnight of hardcore partying, high on life and drugs, the young Noah Ryan decided he was going to hit the slopes. So he took a trip up to Aspen and thought it'd be cool if he went off-piste. But he took a wrong turn and fell 30 foot off a cliff. Hurtling into the ground, he broke every single bone in his body and he had to be airlifted to the nearest hospital. The doctors told him not only did he break every bone in his body, but they had to remove his spleen. He punctured a lung and he died on the operating table 2 times. This was a wake-up call for Noah Ryan. He knew he had to change his ways. He's got all the money in the world. It's about time he started living properly and doing some good in the world. Once he'd recovered from his injuries, he flew to his offices in Los Angeles and told the board not only were they going to change the business plan, they were going to sell the offices and move to where he was from, Belfast. Over the next 12 months, Noah Ryan built a super skyscraper right in the centre of Belfast. Everything would be run from here. He sold his weapons business, he sold his phone technology business, and he decided to start putting his money elsewhere. First, he built a string of children's hospitals where children would get the best care for free around the world. He then built homeless pods in every major UK city, places for the homeless to live and sleep at night, free from any danger. And last but not least, to make sure the money kept on coming in, he built wind farms all around the UK, not only to generate cash, but to generate clean, renewable energy. He teamed up with another famous billionaire to form a new space company building space rockets with the plan of building the first ever moon base. But this wasn't enough for Noah Ryan. He had more money than most people could ever dream of. He changed his business, but there was one love in Noah's life, and that was football. He wanted to use his money to not only do something special in football, but to change football in Northern Ireland forever. But he didn't want to go down the same route as other famous billionaires before him. He didn't want to buy already well established teams. He wanted to develop a small team that meant something to him. A team in his own country. That team was Linfield. At a TED Talk event, Noah Ryan unveiled his 10-year plan to win the Champions League with Linfield. First, he was going to give Windsor Park back to the Northern Ireland FA to use solely as an international stadium, because he was going to be building, right across from his offices, a new state-of-the-art 60,000 capacity, all singing, all dancing super stadium. Not only that, he built a state-of-the-art training facility on the outskirts of Belfast. Naming after himself, it had everything you could possibly need to produce and train the world's best footballers. But playing in the Northern Ireland League wasn't going to get this club where he wanted them to be. He was bored of people talking about Rangers and Celtic going to England. Why couldn't a team from the UK, from Northern Ireland, his Linfield, why couldn't they play in the English Football League? So he headed over to a meeting with the FA at the St George's training complex. He met with the then English Football League chairman, Ian Lenigan, for a very important meeting. The two men thrashed out a deal that would take Linfield out of Northern Ireland and into the English Football League. But part of that deal was he was going to have to pay every single club £20 million. But with the deal made, hands shook and money exchanged, Linfield had bought their place in the Sky Bet Football League Division 2. So they may be starting in League 2, but Noah Ryan had big dreams for his Linfield team, and he brought in Jose Mourinho to be the first ever manager of the new look Linfield. He also made two major signings. Wayne Rooney was brought over from the United States of America to become the club captain and number one striker, and to back him up was another legend. Gianluigi Buffon was brought over from Paris. Two major signings, two big names. Would more follow? So could Noah Ryan turn Linfield into a Champions League team? He had the money to do it, he had the ambition to do it, but would he have the time? Would his 10-year plan work? It was going to be tough, but if anyone could do it, it was Noah Ryan, and we were going to find out in The Tycoon. Hello, I'm Bood and welcome to the channel. Thanks for joining me today for another story-based experiment. This is The Tycoon. Hopefully you enjoyed the little story build-up. I had a lot of fun putting that together because it does star my good friend Irish Dave. Yep, Irish Dave is Irish. He is from Northern Ireland and he's from Belfast. So I just want to say thank you, Dave, for letting me use your face. This ain't the first time Dave's been in one of my videos. If you've seen the Venga Boys, remember Disco Dave Diaz? Same fella, same guy. But this is Dave's idea, the Linfield idea. He was going to use it on YouTube, but he's a teacher in Russia, so he's never really got around to doing it. But he let me use the idea, and I put it out there as a challenge recently. It's just stuck in my head. I like the idea of it. People always talk about Glasgow Rangers and Celtic coming to England, and then obviously we've got Swansea and Cardiff and teams like that from Wales playing in England. So Northern Ireland is still part of the UK, so why can't a team from there come and play in England? That was the idea behind it. I've put a story to it, and we're going to see if they can do it. Can Noah Ryan's billions in 10 years get them right through the leagues, into the Premier League, and win it? Got to remember though, this is the Boodyverse, so it's all connected. By the time they get to the Premier League, it's going to be tough to win the Premier League, let alone the Champions League. But I can't wait to see what happens. If you do enjoy it, make sure you smash the like button. I really do appreciate it. If you're brand new, feel free to subscribe. You'll also, if you want to support the channel, if you go down in the description, you'll see a link to my Patreon. Feel free to support. It would be appreciated. But really, I just appreciate you being here watching. So let's get into it. Come on. So here we are with Linfield. It's June, it's 2018, and Noah Ryan's took his team to England. And you'll see they've got a brand new stadium. It's named after his business, the Ryan Corp Park. Got Jose Mourinho as the manager. There's a few good managers out of work on the database. I just thought I'd use Jose, big name. Hopefully he can come in and get the ball rolling. They made 2 key signings, obviously Wayne Rooney, who's club captain, and got Gianluigi Buffon, who is the vice captain. Everything else are wiped. The players, the staff, and I've brought in a staff, small, but it's packed with legends. You've got Ruud van Nistelrooy, Thierry Henry, a few legends on the staff, all come in for big paychecks from Noah Ryan. The rest of the squad, though, have let the computer give the team a regen squad. So some of it's okay, some of it's not. But they're going to have major finances to really kick this club on. So if you look at the facilities, they of course play at Ryan Court Park in Belfast. 60,000 seater. It can go up to 80,000 if they want it to. State-of-the-art everything. Top court facilities, state-of-the-art training facilities. The data analysis is below average, but I don't know how to improve that in the editor. I can never find it, so it's not something to worry about. You can easily improve that. State-of-the-art youth facilities, exceptional junior coaching, and then they've got the training facility, which is also the stadium for the youth teams, which is Noah Ryan's training facility. That's also in Belfast. Now, if we go to the squad, you'll think, wow, look at some of them values. It is just a standard regen squad. If at the start of any game, you can add players to a team. It's how I got my Denton squad, my Manchester Central squad for my Let's Play series. Except this one, it's given them a few high-valued players. That doesn't mean they're actually any good. Right, so obviously we've got Wayne Rooney at the top. We all knew who Wayne Rooney is. This guy here, Andrew Bonner, is a regen. Is he worth 13 million? I won't say so. So it is a bit so-so when you get a regen squad, but it's just to give him a base. And I think it's probably good enough to do well in this league. And then once Jose starts spending some money, I'm sure it'll be okay. But this is the kind of players they've got. Obviously, apart from Wayne, who is not what he used to be, but he's still a very good player. League 2, he should boss it. And then we've got Gianluigi Buffon, haven't we? Where's Buffon? Gianluigi, there he is. Who's still amazing for his age. What is it, 40 years old? He's awesome. So yeah, great. 2 great players to get the ball rolling. And with all the media hype and attention from the press and the world's media, and all the money they've got, they're already favourites to go up. And they should be, really, shouldn't they? They should, shouldn't they? So I can't wait to see what happens, to be fair. Now, I've taken over Linfield just for this little segment because there's bits you can't see unless you're the manager. I won't be saying it. I just want to show you Noah Ryan. Now, obviously he's a chairman, and what annoys me is you can't look at the details. It's like a doctor, you can't look at the details. Why? I think chairmen have specific attributes in the editor, like business and resources for finances. And why can't you see that? Why can't you know if your chairman likes youth or he wants high profile stuff? Why can't you see these things? Do you know what I mean? Why can't you see if he's got money or not? Now, I've made Noah. I try and make him okay in a way. And you'll see he likes possession football, wants to play attacking football, modern football. He wants you to sign young players for the first team, develop young players, but he also likes, he don't say there, he also likes high profile signings. So I've made him like he's great. He's got a great business mind, the best he can. He's got high resources, so even though all the money's pumped into the club, he can still put more in if he wants to. But I've made it so he wants to play attacking, fun, exciting football. He wants to develop from the youth academy, but he also wants big players coming in, big names to get the club kicking on. I've made him so half and a half when it comes to patience. So he's not just going to pull the trigger if you don't get the results, but he's not going to let you get away with murder. So I think he's a pretty good chairman. If we switch to the finances, you'll see they're going to be starting with vast wealth. Noah Ryan is not messing about. He's got just under $1 billion in the bank, 900 to spend. They're spending 260 grand on wages. You can spend 5 million a week if you want. So there's loads of money there to invest. It's all the sponsorships. You can give a team $1 billion, but they'll run out of money. You need to give a team when you create one, or improve a team. You need to give them the means to carry that on, like Manchester City do in the game. I wanted Linfield to do that, but better. So if we go over to their sponsorships, you'll see it's pretty sweet. They've got stadium sponsorship, training ground sponsorships, their own individual TV deal. Just imagine if this was real. It'd be like a fly-on-the-wall documentary following, like they do with the Class of 92 in Salford every year. You get a show, don't you? Well, just imagine that's this. A TV company following Linfield and Noah Ryan around while they transforms Linfield. So they've got their own individual TV deal, kit sponsorships, a few other sponsorships. if you look there, I mean, that's mega money. So you're going to get hundreds of million coming in every year from sponsorships, ticket sales, and once they get in the Premier League, there's going to be no stopping them. Now, it's a club that has a lot of trophies, but they're all trophies based in Northern Ireland, so they won't be adding to any of these anymore. I've fixed Northern Ireland as well, so if you do want to play this, you can still play in Northern Ireland. I've just moved the team up from the leagues and just made sure all the gaps are filled. But it's going to be interesting to see, can they get any big trophies on here? It's all about winning the Champions League. That was his 10-year plan. But obviously he's going to want to win the Prem, FA Cup, League Cup, the Europa League. Do you know what I mean? I think they're going to do something special. I have no idea. I've just got a lot of save files to get stuck into. So what I thought we'd do is 5 years, have a check out, see what's going on, and then we'll jump forward to the 10 years and see if he completed it. Welcome to 2023. We've jumped 5 years into the future, and Linfield are a Premier League team. They're also no longer got Jose Mourinho as the manager. They've got Leonardo Jardim, who is still a very good manager. Captain is Goldson. Vice captain is Lo Celso. Great. And look, they've got hot prospects. That's one thing I want to have a quick look at. Is I've improved Linfield, and Linfield may be playing football in England, but it's still based in Northern Ireland, so they're going to have these great facilities, getting local Northern Ireland lads in, and hopefully making them better, hopefully making Northern Ireland better. So manager-wise, Jose did his usual 3 to 4 years in a job and got himself sacked, which is unfortunate. He won 3 leagues and a cup, so I'm guessing he won the championship, he's took them all the way up, and then obviously didn't do what Ryan Noah wanted him to do in the Premier League, and wasn't good enough, whatever he did. We'll have a look in a sec. And he got the sack. But now they've got Leonardo Jardim. He looks like he's coming for the end of this season. He's still in the Premier League, which is great. But can he take him on that next level? Right, so Jose got up and up and up and up. He's been there 4 years, so he's gone up and up. And he had his first year in the Premier League, didn't get sacked. Finished 6th. So he got into Europe, which is fantastic, with 62 points. And then this last season is the season he's been sacked for. Finished 7th. So I'm guessing it's like, alright, we settled in that first year, but second year I want top 4. Jose didn't give Noah top 4, so he's out the door. And a quick check at the honours, you'll see we've got the Checker Trade, Sky Bet League 2, Sky Bet League 1 and the Championship. So he won the league every time he went up, did Jose. But we've got no major trophies yet, no domestic titles yet. Or European titles, even though he's been playing in Europa League. That could change. Now I ain't going to go through every single list. I'm going to skim through them quick. If you want to pause it, you might be able to see some of them. Some of them might be blocked because of my head. That's tough shit. But this first year is Sky Bet League 2. Jose Mourinho spent 127 million. Andreas Pereira for 34 million in that first season. Wow. Next season, when they're in the Sky Bet League 1, they spent 164 million. No one's got a chance. You might remember from the story, he had to pay compensation to every team in the Football League outside of the Premier League. So in the 3 divisions, yeah, all got 20 million. And that, when I was doing that in the editor, some teams really needed it. But it's like a drop in the ocean, isn't it? Compared to the finances Noah Ryan's pumping into this. Forget the Sheik. The Irishman is going at it. Eh? He bought the lot when there was Sky Bet League 1 team. Look at the money they're spending. They are buying Premier League players. Crazy. And then in his year in the Championship, he spent 223. The money is going up. They brought quite a lot in, to be fair. But he's buying players from Paris Saint-Germain, Arsenal, Southampton, Liverpool, Chelsea. Exciting. This could be a lot of fun to have a play. If you just want to have a bit of fun on Football Manager and you don't take things too seriously, this could be the save for you. Then, first season in the Premier League, spending got reined in a little bit, didn't it? Maybe he's starting to build his team at this point. He spent 126 million, brought in 36 million. Again, no buying. Some good players. And then last year, kicked ass. Last year, Jose went for it, didn't he? In style. He spent 321 million in one summer. I mean, they bought Sancho is there. Wow. He's one of the best young players on the game and he's playing for Linfield. 106 million. I mean, come on. Exciting. I like it. Brought 80 million in as well. You can see why, Noah Ryan's saying, look, mate, you spent 320 million. You got top 6 last year. You've gone back a place. You can see why Jose got the sack. But if we look at the squad right now, in year 5, going into this 5th season, they're going to be playing in the Europa League, but they've got a great chance to win something. They're going to win something eventually big. Because look at the players they've got. Look at the finances they've got. I mean, is he going to get his 10-year plan together? I don't know. He's got 5 years left to complete it. He's got no intention of selling. He'll just keep on going. But he wanted to do it in 10 years and make history. 5 years, he could do it. I think he could do it. There's no reason why he can't. He's just got to get. Obviously, the club's just got to get in the top 4. It's got to get into the Champions League. I think once it's in the Champions League with some of these players. And just a quick look at this kid. He's English. He's 23. Can play on both wings. Obviously, there's better players out there than him, but I think he's a great player on this game. I think he's brilliant. Any player that's got a bit of pace about him, a bit of technique like that, and can play on both wings. Yeah, it's the kind of player I like. So going into this 6th season, they've got a new manager. He's got his summer to buy some players. We'll have a look at that later. And the media thinking they're going to be 6th. Got to do better. You've got to get top 4. Noah Ryan wants top 4. He's got 5 years left to do the Champions League. Can he do it? Now we've jumped 6 years into the future, and there's a reason for that. I'll share that with you in a minute. But we're on this page because this game for the last couple of years is supposed to have developed rivalries, and I've noticed it never happens. I've played long saves and my teams never develop new rivalries. Now we are 11 years into Linfield playing in England, and they've not got one rival, not one English rival. That just doesn't. That says to me it don't work. Manager wise, we left Leonardo in charge. He lasted just under 2 years, didn't win a thing, and Noah had enough. Got rid of him. Then we had Brian McClare, who is. He was under 18s manager. He's been promoted to a coach, and then he was caretaker boss, and now he's gone back to being a coach. He hasn't left. He's still there. And next we've got Antonio Conte. But you can see he's won a league, and he's won 6 cups. But what cups? Well, we know that they haven't won anything major last time we looked. But if we have a look now, you'll see they've won the Carabao Cup 4 times. Wow. He's won the Europa League, which is nearly there. It's not the Champions League though, is it? And he's won the Super Cup, beating whoever won the Champions League that year. 4 League Cups though. Like every year they just win the League Cup. And the Premier League, winning that Premier League, that's brilliant. So if we take a look, you'll see Tottenham have just won it this season. Linfield won it last year, which is tough because by the time Linfield got to the Premier League, all the other players in the Budiverse, there's some great ones, they all tend to end up in the Premier League at City, United, Liverpool. So they all had like a bit of a head start. So for Linfield to come up through the leagues, I know they got the money to, but battle the way up there and finally win the Premier League, that's something pretty cool. But they haven't won the Champions League. We're 11 years in, and the 10-year plan isn't working. It's not worked. Nearly worked, ish, because Linfield just lost in year 11, so it's a year over. We just lost the Champions League final to Real Madrid. Oh, in Athens. Gutted, got beat 2-0. Not only that, but they got beat in the FA Cup final on penalties by Manchester City. Gutted. They won the League Cup though. That's something. Let's have a quick look at some of the spending. And it just carries on. Now, I could go through all this in a bit more detail, but I can't be bothered because it's just so much. So, no, 265 million. Then he only spent 60, then 295, 227. I mean, just never stopped spending money, did they? But by now, a lot of the great players in the game, real players, will have gone. There'll be some awesome regens. Did Linfield produce any? Well, here we are with the squad. It's arranged by value. So a lot of these guys, like this age, this fella here from Brazil is Portugal. How good's he? Obviously, he's not from Northern Ireland. Any Northern Ireland players, we've got one down here, 24-year-old worth 52 million, who's unhappy. I don't think he's playing. Aaron Mulholland. Now, you could argue Northern Ireland might create a player like that. My guess is he's obviously come through the academy, and I'm hoping they've done a few more of these. This is Northern Ireland. They're ranked 60th in the world, so I'm not 100% sure on that. But we'll have a look at some of their best players. How good are they? I mean, he's alright. He's alright. Yeah, he's real. So then you've got Aaron Mulholland. So maybe it hasn't worked like I'd hoped. But, it's still fun to see. So Noah Ryan is still the chairman. He's dreaming over. He still fancies it. He still thinks they're going to win the Champions League one day. It's been tough. He spent a lot of money. But he loves doing it. I kind of thought he might do something. I mean, they won the Europa League, so it's nearly there. They won a European trophy. Maybe he should have made his 10-year plan to win a European trophy. And then he definitely would have completed it. Right, I had to. I'm going to have my lunch and holidayed a few more years into the future. It's 2034. I just wanted to see if they can do it. They've not done it. They've won another Europa League, another Premier League, another Carabao Cup. He's won an FA Cup, so they've won trophies. Still not the Champions League, and I can't holiday anymore. I can't do it. I can't do it. And guess who the manager is? It's Jurgen Klopp. In 2034, he's the manager of Linfield. They still not improved the freaking stadium. It could go up to 80,000. But I think they've done pretty well, and they're one of the biggest teams in England, and they're from Northern Ireland. That's pretty sweet. That is the end of the Tycoon. Hopefully you enjoyed it enough to smash the like button. If you're brand new, feel free to subscribe. Make sure you go and check out all my other content. But yeah, it was just a bit of fun. I had a lot of fun seeing what happened with Linfield, Rich Linfield, in the Premier League. I had a lot of fun sticking my friend's face on different bodies. I think he was quite happy with some of them when I showed him them. Disco Dave Diaz. Looks nothing like Disco Dave, does it? When I showed him Disco Dave Diaz from the Venga Boys, he didn't even realise it was himself. It was funny. But yeah, thanks for watching. Like I said, I'll put the save file down below. I'm going to put it in from the beginning, and I'll put one in from when they first get to the Premier League if you want to bypass that. And if you do have a go, let me know how you get on. Can you take on the challenge? Can you win the Champions League in 10 years with Linfield? If you do, send me a screenshot, email it to me. Like I said, if you want to support the channel a little bit more, Patreon, you'll find a link to it down below. Much appreciated. Thanks for taking time out your busy day to watch this. You've been amazing. I've been Booed. I'll see you next time.